Now it looks like the auction truck is almost over at the trailer. I'm gonna go get in position and get ready, but before I do, I will tell you guys, I'm very conflicted and I'm not quite sure what to do here.
Morgan Gold, are you here?
So we're leaving the farm and we're heading on a little field trip today. There's a farm equipment auction a couple towns away from me, and so we're gonna head out there. You know, usually when somebody is liquidating their farm, there's a company that's local here who will host an auction. They just kind of pull together all the stuff that that farm has, as well as usually some things that maybe some other local farms have, and they will basically put everything on one big auction. Lately, I've been really thinking I need a livestock trailer for a couple of projects and things that I have going around the farm. So that's the #1 thing I'm going there to look for. But then there's always some of those cool things that you never know what you're gonna find that you might buy opportunistically. And so I think we're gonna have some fun today. So let's check it out. And here we are at the auction. I usually like to arrive at these auctions about an hour early just to come scope out what they got, all that sort of good stuff. So let's see what's available, huh? Oh, there we go. That's a definite candidate. This hay trailer. Oh wow, look at all these fencing supplies. You know, I really do like coming to these farm auctions. They're a lot of fun, there's a lot of energy. I get to see some folks that I know from the area. But I will also say that there's sort of like a certain measure of sadness when it comes to these, because usually when one of these farm auctions is held, it means somebody's either gone out of business or died. And for a lot of the farms in our area, they're struggling dairy farms. And so something that happens a lot, I know, across the United States, but particularly been acute and frequent here in Vermont lately. With the relatively depressed prices of milk, but the extreme inflation on pretty much everything else that goes into producing that milk in this area, it's very hard to stay in business when you're a dairy farmer, especially when you're a small scale dairy farmer and you're using kind of the traditional commodity method of sales for your product. Awesome.
There you go.
Thanks a lot. Okay, so the way this works is you got to register for the auction. You know, you give them your information, like an ID, they register you. So now when I'm bidding, number 31 is our lucky number. That's the one you want to see come up here. Now, typically when I'm doing my scouting at the auction, what I like to do is walk around first, take a look at all of the stuff that they have, and then I'll come back around and I'll start making a list. And what I'm usually trying to do with the list is just basically identify what are the things I want, and putting like a good best guess, like what would I pay for this if I was buying it off of Craigslist. I find that sometimes you can get swept up in the craziness of an auction and like overbid. But if I have a sense of, well, here's what it's worth and here's what I would pay if I was looking online for something used like this, that's usually the number I'm going for. And so that's what I'm gonna do now. I always see these calf hutches and like dream of making some sort of shelter for animals, but I also realize that they can sometimes just be something that is garbage on the farm. And I know Allison would hate the look of these, so I don't think I'm gonna make any bids on these, even though I always think they're really cool. Like, I think Abby would use it as a house, but I don't think Toby would want to use it as a house because he's rejected other plastic houses I've made for him in the past. These fence posts are interesting, but I don't think it's anything I quite want. You know, like looking at these T-posts, right? I already have my own collection of T-posts, and they're looking kind of gnarly at this point. So I think I'm gonna pass on those. Fencing reels though, let's see what we got here. Not bad quality. They're selling all these reels as one big purchase. I know I could always use more fencing reels for the cattle, so I'm gonna put a number down here. Like for example, the really good fencing reels I have right now, the new ones from Gallagher, they're about $100. These aren't that quality, but there's a whole bunch of them. And they also come with the electric tape. I could definitely use this with my cattle. I think it would actually work with them pretty well. If you're gonna buy all this retail, you're looking at probably, I don't know, $300-400. I'm gonna say 250 though, because there's a lot of reels on there that I would never buy. So I'm getting junk that I don't want, so I don't wanna be paying for that. But I think that's my best guess number. We also have this big collection of fencing doodads. You got gates, you got springs, you got tubes for doing like high tensile. Given the fencing project I have going on right now, I actually bought a lot of these things already. So I was kicking myself a little bit. That said, this is the stuff that I feel like I could always use. And so if I could get it on the cheap, I think maybe I would take it. High tensile wire. This is the same exact stuff I'm using right now on the fence I'm building. Actually, no, I have to go to the store and get more of it, so this has to go on my list. We're gonna say $75 for that. I already have a ridiculous amount of poultry netting, so I'm gonna pass on this. These step-in posts, I need more of them, but I really actually wanted to move to just using the pigtail ones. I don't like these plastic ones because they're always breaking. Like, you can see this right here. See how it's broken already? I probably already have about, I don't know, 50 of these back at the farm. I don't even want them because they know that they're just gonna be more things that break and then more garbage that I have. So I'm gonna pass on this one. So we have all this spooled high tensile wire, but it's all kind of loose and messy. Unlike that reel, which is already wrapped up and easy to transport. This is recycled stuff and it's kind of a mess. Kind of dread working on it, so I'm gonna pass on it. The nesting box is kind of cool. You can always use, I guess, a few more nesting boxes for the chickens. Mount them in the mobile chicken coop. But I also don't like these. I like the rollaways. So we're gonna say if we can get it for $20, we'll be in it. If not, we're out. Oh wow, these gates. Definitely could use these gates. They're selling each one individually. Now I just bought a couple of 12-foot gates for the fencing project I'm working on right now. They went for about $200 a pop. I don't know, they're in okay shape. The ones that I bought are actually the exact same brand and make, but these are a little rusted, so I don't know. We'll say $120 each. And for this galvanized one that's, I don't know, kind of in a little rougher shape, we'll say $100. Again, that's like half of what I just paid for those other ones, so it's still a pretty good deal. This hay wagon is pretty dang cool. Like if I wanted to expand my chicken flock to, you know, 100, 150 birds, 200 birds, this would be the one. You know, the other thing I'm thinking is, if I wanted to do a really good shade mobile for my cattle, this would be the thing to buy and then retrofit it. But again, right now, it's just not the type of thing I need to buy. Trailer's pretty good. I could definitely use a trailer. Seems in pretty good shape. Looking underneath it. Yeah, looks like it's in pretty good condition. Not a lot of rust to it. A little bit, but nothing too bad. I mean, that's the biggest thing you're looking for, right? Is how rusted out it is. So I think I'm gonna put a number down for the trailer. And then this livestock trailer. This is the one. So as I'm looking underneath it, right? It's looking a little rough. Not bad. Not great. I mean, some of that rust could be cleaned up pretty easily. I'm struggling to think about how much it's actually worth to me. It's kind of superficial. I mean, I'm gonna have to make a decision on what I bid for this today, because I will bid for it. But I will say I'm a little curious to see what you guys think this is worth. I mean, this would come in handy on a couple of things, so I'm thinking about it. I like how this kind of looks like the Dead Kennedys logo. If decency and progress is ours once more. I don't know, what do you guys think? What do you think this is worth? Drop it down in the comments and let me know. Now here we have the old and forgotten section. I feel like they're more decoration than anything else at this point. Well, now that I've done my scan of the auction and I've got my list and I've got my number, now I think the only thing left to do is actually do the auction. So let's see how I fare. So the way the auction actually works is you've got this auction truck where the auctioneer stays up here and they call everything out. And then they basically just drive down the line and people kind of follow along and bid on the items. And so the bidding is going to go in this order. That livestock trailer that I have my eye on is way towards the end. So I think this is going to be kind of a long day here at the auction for me.
Okay, I'd like to at this time welcome you all to the sale today. Morgan Gold, are you here?
Yep.
There you go. That's your
Thanks.
number.
You dropped it. Thanks. I dropped my number.
Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
And here we go. How much out there? What do you want to get for it? Then get $25 and go. $25 bid, $25 bid, $25. We get right here. $50 bill wins it. $50 to number 7. Number 7 the buyer. 30, 35, 5, 40, 45, 50, 55, 55. That's take you on.
The activity of the auction is super exciting. I actually just like kind of zoning out and watching it. I'm not sure if you guys feel the same way. But just watching the bidding and the activity is kind of cool to me. I've got a little ways before it gets to the stuff that I'm interested in, so we'll just keep watching.
Hey, and how much on already? What do you get for? You'll get a quick $100 bill. 2 more items here this month listed because we've got the more stuff down there. So $100, everybody have $100, everybody have $100, everybody have $100, $25 is our enough. $25, everybody have $100, $100, everybody have $100, everybody have $100, everybody get $80, at 170, right here, $170. That's $25 video, $25 video, $25 video, $10. What do you want to give up? We'll get $200. Another bit of 10, 10, 10, 320, 320, take them all you want. 330, 330, 160, 170, 170, 180, 180, 190, 210, 220, 220. Ready at $250 to number 39 to buyer, 39 to buyer.
All right, here comes the high tensile wire.
60 now, 60 now, 60, 60, 1 moment 60, at $50 bid, 60, 70, 70, 70, 80, 80, 80, now 90, and 90, 90 to go, 90, but to begin on 90, 80 bid now, $90 to go now, 90 but to begin on 90, $80, $90 bid now, but to get on 90. Ready, $80 to number 60, 60 the buyer.
Just over my target price.
Choice of lots. Take one or two.
And we'll give $100. Hit $100, give $100, give $100, give 50, right? 60, 60, 70, 70, 80, 80, now 90, 90, and 100. Now 110, 110, 120, 120, 130, 140. Ready at $260. You want some both?
Take some
both. Number 17 to buyer, 17 to buyer.
Lot 58 right here.
All that electric wires right there. And what do you want to get for? We'll get $200. Hit $200. Everybody go to DT, one number two, now, and get 100, right? 1 1/4, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 1/2, 175, 200, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 1/2, 275, 300, 300, 300, 3 Ronnie Ralph, 300, now 1 moment, 3 but 300, 3 1/4, 3 1/4, hit 3 1/4, 3 1/2, 3 1/2, 3 375, 375. Ready at $350 to 68 the buyer, 68 the buyer. $500 to get 200, 2 1/4, 2 1/4, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 2 1/2, 275, 300, 3 1/4, 3 1/2, 375, 375, at 350, 75, 75, Ronnie, 375, 350, 400, 4 bomb, 4, get 4, now 4, at 375, another 4, 4. Ready at 375 to number 68, 375.
That dude beat me again. He's not having luck today.
Okay, lot
3 tubs.
all the post and the speed fence.
Wow, all that's together.
The whole thing together.
And how much on all of it right there?
That too. The
That
wire.
pallet goes with the post.
That totally changes my math here.
We'll get $200 for it.
Yes.
2 1/4, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 275,
Yes.
300, 3 1/4, 3 1/2, 375, 400.
Yes.
Ready at 5 1/4,
28.
28 the buyer, 28 the buyer.
Yeah,
Okay, all the
like
ground
300,
rods right
that
here
seemed
on the
good, but 500, yeah, that's way out of it.
We've got some condo units here for chickens. And how much on everybody get both? We'll get $50 a go, $50, then we go to $50, there's about $500 worth of material there at today's price. Right here, $35, Janine, you got it, and your number is?
All right, now I think my next best.
Hey, to get what? I'll get $300.
See how I do.
$300, Don't give 100 apiece. Then $100, give $100, 100, now 110, $100, 110, 10, now 10, now 10, $100, $110. Hit $100 bill, 110, 10, 10, now 10, $110, and $100, 110, 1 bid, 110, 10, 100, 110, 120, 120, 120, 130, 130, 130, and now 30, give it 30, give it 30. At 120 bid, 130, bid 30, make it 30, 120 bid, 130, make it 30, 130, 120 bid, 30. Ready, $120 to number 31.
Takes 2 of them.
Get $50.
I'm pretty happy about that. That's about half the price I just paid for 2 new ones. Okay, so I'm now guaranteed to not walk away empty-handed. I'm really happy about getting those 2 gates. If I had tried to buy those brand new, which I just recently bought a couple of them brand new, it would have been about 200, 220 bucks if I didn't get them on sale. And so the fact that I got 2 of them for the price that I did felt really good. I feel like that was a good deal. Now the rest of this stuff I'm not all that interested in. The next big thing I got my eyes on is that target right there.
Am I gonna have this big livestock trailer to go home with? It'll make carrying those gates home much easier too.
I mean, I'm gonna guess that this thing is like 16 feet. Now, if I looked online to see what I could find for comparables, I could find a brand new, beautiful one for about $8 grand. Of course, the one that I just Googled happens to be in Lexington, Kentucky, but still, I could get, for $8,000, I get a brand new one. Based on what I looked at earlier, this is an okay condition to so-so condition. It's in good enough condition that I could use it to transport my cattle to the butcher. I could use it if I ever got pigs to transport them. If I ever wanted to try to do a mass transportation of a bunch of geese, I could use that as well. So those are the main things I'm thinking about. But I do think the other trade-off that I have to consider is this is like not something I need. and I really only have a need for something like this once or twice a year. And you know, for example, one of my neighbors, he transported our 5 cattle when we bought them from one side of Vermont to the other. It was about a 2-hour drive, and it only cost me $300. And then I don't have to worry about storing and maintaining a trailer. I don't know, my lack of need makes me not want to overspend for sure. Now it looks like the auction truck is almost over at the trailer. I'm gonna go get in position and get ready, but before I do, I will tell you guys, I'm very conflicted and I'm not quite sure what to do here.
Okay,
Right, the big moment.
1988 Valley stock trailer. You got the trailer hitch going with it here in the front. And all right, here we go. And how much on a little trailer? What am I to give for? To give $5,000 and go. If I'm going to go to $5, $5, $5, again, 10, 12 and a half, 10 a bit, 12 and a half, get a bit, 12 and a half, 10 a bit, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 1,500, 70 and 2, 22 and a half, 20, 27 and a half, 3,000, 3,000, what am I doing? 32 and a half, 35, 3,500, $5, $5, $5, get 5, and 32 and a half, 35, Ronnie, 35, 7 and a half, 37 and a half, 36, 37, 37, 7, almost $7, 7 now, 38, now 9, 3,900, 4,000, 41, 41, 46, 7, make it $7, 7. Ready at $4,600 to number 28, the buyer. Number 28, the buyer.
So I guess you guys are probably wondering why I didn't bid, and the answer is I had 4,000 as the number marked down for what I would pay for that. And so I was just about to pull the trigger to mark the 4,000, but then it went up. And like I said before, I want to be disciplined in how I bid on these things, and that just seemed like the right price to me. Oh well, again, it wasn't something I desperately needed, so I'm not feeling too bad about not getting it. I guess I should probably go pay and load up my gates. I need to settle up.
Okay, what's your number?
31?
2 items, the gates.
Yep, 2 gates.
There you go.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. So all in all, I feel like I made out pretty darn good at the auction today. I got 2 things that I really needed at a discount price. I mean, they were spot on my guess price that I had listed out, so I don't feel like I overpaid by a nickel. And so effectively, I got 2 more 12-foot gates for the price of 1 12-foot gate. And as I was loading them in, I could say they definitely are in very good condition. Looking forward to getting them back to the farm. I'm gonna probably use them not for the pasture fencing project, but I'm also building a new winter cattle area, and I think those will be better than the wooden gate that I built myself. And so I'm looking forward to that upgrade, as well as I might even use one for my cattle handling area, which is another future project we're gonna have. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's different than my usual videos. If you want to see me make more of these and go to more auctions and maybe drag a friend like Alfred along too, let me know down in the comments and I'll happily make more, unless you guys tell me you hate these videos, and then I won't. But thanks for watching.